It's time to have a serious conversation about Cristiano Ronaldo. Ronaldo made it known all summer via third-party sources that he wanted to leave. He wanted to go elsewhere in order to maximise the latter years of his career at the pinnacle of club football in the Champions League. Manchester United was not that. At some point, Manchester United decided that Cristiano Ronaldo was not for sale and to button it and stick around. And to my surprise, that actually happened. I think some of that was down to lack of options, and I think some of that was down to United's lack of options themselves. He had seemingly no suitors that were willing to pay either a transfer fee or his extremely high wages. He was late to pre-season, which may have been a legitimate reason. I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt for that. I think everyone else should as well. But he is struggling, I think, to hide his discontent on the field at the moment. His ego will have taken an enormous hit regarding the lack of traction in the transfer market, as well as being surplus to requirements in the current Manchester United starting 11, which on paper should not have been a problem for him to be the starter in this team, but it is. When we've seen him feature so far this season for United, he has looked old, he has looked demotivated, he looks unfocused, he looks slow and unfit, which is not something I thought you'd ever say, certainly the unfit side of things with Ronaldo. He hasn't been sharp, his touch, his finish, his instincts has not quite been the best. United don't operate or play anywhere near the same level of intensity when he plays, and he seems to affect the other forwards that he plays with, providing less fluidity, less link-up, and less build-up when we're in possession. United's last 6 games is 4 wins bracketed by 2 losses. The 2 losses, Real Sociedad and Brentford. The 4 wins, Arsenal, Leicester, Southampton and Liverpool. Ronaldo started only the 2 losses, as did some others, Harry Maguire included. But the big concern with Cristiano Ronaldo and his performances is that United were unable or unwilling to sign a striker in the summer, and we are depending on an injury-prone Anthony Martial, an unpredictable left-wing suited Marcus Rashford, and an aging, demotivated Cristiano Ronaldo. In the business end of the football pitch, United could end up really regretting not securing a long-term striker to do the business. Cristiano Ronaldo could very well find his way out in January. He could very well find his way out at the end of the season. He could very well find himself back into the starting 11. And on the positive side of things, when the ball is coming into the area, when he's provided with crosses, as we saw against Real Sociedad, there is a threat there still. Cristiano Ronaldo does remain a goal threat. He scored 24 goals last season. That will not disappear overnight. He might diminish, but it won't disappear. He can still be a potent striker. But this is a stage of his career which we've never seen. This is a stage of his career with the circumstances that surround it that we've never seen Ronaldo have to deal with. We've seen other players deal with this. I remember just about Brian Robson's tail end of his career, where he was no longer the Captain Marvel and he was a bit player. The first squad number he was issued when squad numbers came out in the second Premier League season was number 12, showing his importance had slipped in the first 11 and being that number 7 wearing Captain Marvel to now being on the bench. There was still a lot of love and affection for Brian Robson around at the time. We've seen other players that have faded and fell off. We saw Vidic, Evra and Rio all sort of overripe at the same time in David Moyes' season. And it gets sad watching legendary world-class footballers fade with the way they have. We never quite saw it with David Beckham because he left and still played for another 10 years after he left Manchester United. And we never saw it with Eric Cantona, although I don't know how much of that is being rose-tinted. In his last season, he did look heavier. He was still effective. He was still brilliant. But he was heavier than he'd previously been, for whatever reason. Cantona chose to call it a day, aged just 31. Cristiano Ronaldo, now approaching 38, which it will be this season, shone brighter than Cantona in a United shirt, which I didn't think was possible, and perhaps shone brighter than any other human has ever done on a football pitch. But time waits for no man. What Eric Ten Hag is trying to build at Manchester United is very much a team system. It's very much a system that relies on every cog doing its job to allow the cog next to it to do its job. And the one criticism that you can have of Cristiano Ronaldo in the last stages of his career is he is there to play for himself. He doesn't seem as motivated or interested in the success of the team. He seems motivated in how does he come across himself. And that feels counter to what Eric Ten Hag is building. It may well have been Ten Hag's decision to keep him at the football club. It may well have been somebody else's decision that he stuck around at the football club. But I think it was a mistake. I disagreed with a lot of people last season calling Cristiano Ronaldo the problem within the dressing room. I thought Manchester United, and I think that's been proven so far this season, I thought Manchester United last season lacked a lot of characters. And I thought they had a team full of, for want of a better word, pussies that didn't have the backbone to stand up to or work alongside high-demanding players like Cristiano Ronaldo did. Or like Cristiano Ronaldo was, even. But I mean, like he did when, the characters he came through with would crush some of the players that we have at the club at the moment. And I do believe, and I still believe, a lot of the issues of last season were down to the too many players in the team that didn't have the bottle to go toe-to-toe with Cristiano Ronaldo and demand more of themselves. Too many players were happy with the easy ride. And people were looking for an external factor, what came in and changed the way that this team was playing. And Cristiano Ronaldo was a very convenient, very large target to point the finger at. His 24 goals changed a lot of things for us last season. His 24 goals was not an insignificant contribution. It was a great contribution. And I think at the start of the season, we'd have said, what is success for Ronaldo? And I think I said 20 goals. And he got more than 20 goals. So you have to say, okay, that was a success. Now, I don't think we played our most fluid football. That's fair. But I also refuse to believe that Cristiano Ronaldo himself is the big problem in the Manchester United dressing room. And I'm still not 100% sure that it is. Now, he might not be the most positive influence that's in there. And there may be some people who look up to him so much that it causes a bit of an issue in their own performances. I'm thinking Bruno when I think this. But Cristiano Ronaldo and the standards that he sets, I think players should see them as a positive challenge to rise to. And I don't think that happened last year. I wonder if that's changed this year. I wonder if having the likes of Casemiro, who admittedly wasn't good against Sociedad, but I think you will see him turn that around. Rafael Varane regularly in the first team. Martinez, who screams future captain. Every single thing he does is with a great attitude, great spirit, and high quality. Eriksen has come in on a free and looks like he's born to play here, has been putting in some sensational performances. Malacia looks like he's been here for a long time. Anthony's obviously still settling in. It seems like Manchester United has more characters in the football club now that might be able to handle the pressures and the expectations and the demands that someone like Cristiano Ronaldo puts on them. The worry is, we are 7 games into the season, 8 games into the season, 7 games into the season. And what we are seeing is Cristiano Ronaldo not getting to the team. I don't think he would have expected that. And I think he's been playing a bit of a PR game with some of the pundits, coming in and being playful and chill and showing how relaxed he is. I think he's burning inside. I think he's hurting. I think his pride has took a kicking. And I think he's desperate to get back into the starting 11. Based on the performances that we've actually seen from him in a United shirt this season, he's going to have to work harder than he ever has, which is some effort required to be able to do what Ten Hag wants to be able to justify his selection. And if he isn't selected, then I really do worry for the toys coming out of the Prem and the impact that that could have on this squad. Let me know in the comments, what do you think is going to happen with Ronaldo? Is he going to be a positive influence, a negative influence, indifferent? And do me a favour, hit that subscribe button. See you in a bit. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, five-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.